Just a couple hours ago, we got a brand new blog highlighting some big changes coming to the rewards from Raids 3. First up, before we do jump in, we do have a little bit of concept art going over what the new staff and shield could look like. Definitely a big fan of the colorway with how well it matches the Ancestral, and I'd be more than happy if this is ultimately what the final product does look like. But first up in our blog, and probably the most important one that's seen the most changes, is the Masori Armour. Requiring 80 range and 30 defense, or 80 range and 80 defense when upgraded. Originally, the Masori Armour was going to consist of a helmet, chestplate, chainskirt, and amulet, and it would be introduced alongside a new low-life set effect. But going forward, the low-life set effect has been entirely scrapped, and the amulet has been completely removed. They did state though this doesn't mean that low life won't be visited in some form in the future, but for now it won't be a feature here. Instead, the stats that came from the effects of low life on the Masori equipment will make up the base version of the new set, plus the original prayer bonus, and they've decided to take an approach similar to that of how Nex works. Where with how you could break down bandos and add it to the broken Torva, they're going to be taking a similar approach with that of Armadillo and the Masori equipment. You'll be able to break down an Armadillo helmet for 1 plate, a chest plate for 4, or a chain skirt for 3. And then you'll be able to use these broken down plates and craft them with 90 crafting onto your Masori armor to create the upgraded versions. The base equipment will focus on low defense and high offense, making it one of the best choices for an offense range build, while the upgraded version will now be the new best in slot range gear in all categories, which is an absolutely massive change to what this was originally offered at. And now all said and done, depending on how things roll out going forward, we could be seeing a new best in slot range set coming from Raids 3. The fully upgraded armor will surpass the offense capabilities of Armadillo. For comparison, the fully upgraded armor will have the following stats over a full Arma set. Plus 18 in stab, slash, and crush, plus 23 in mage, plus 19 in ranged accuracy, and then plus 8 in stab defense, plus 10 in slash and crush defense, plus 12 for magic defense, plus 8 for ranged defense, and plus 8 for ranged strength. But there will be no difference in prayer bonus. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys specifically think of the Masori changes alone. Personally, I'm a big fan. I like the fact of a brand new best in slot set coming from Raids 3 rather than some other type of content, considering it didn't come from Nex. Realistically, there aren't very many pieces of content that warrant bringing a best in slot armor set into the game, and I feel like Raids are one of those. But moving forward, now let's discuss the staff and the shield. First up, we have the staff, and it requires 85 magic. And in terms of stats, the staff really hasn't changed all that much. It'll still have a base attack rate of 2 cycles, with every 4th hit firing a bigger attack that deals significantly more damage, and with a longer delay afterwards. And while the original design of the Heka was great on paper, it was lacking a certain something, they felt. If you look at previous raid rewards like the T-Bow or the Scythe, they were unique, powerful, and more importantly had an X factor. So instead of scaling differently according to your magic strength, the Heka will now unleash a special effect dependent on your spellbook you're attuned to, alongside a 4th more powerful attack, allowing you more options for your builds. So here's what they're thinking. If you're on the standard spellbook, you have 10% boosted damage. On the Ancient Spellbook, the spell will hit a 3x3 area. And then we have the Lunar Spellbook, and this will heal allies by 5% of your current magic level along the path of your projectile, capped at 5 players. It'll also increase the Heka's attack range by 1, and this applies for all attacks, not just the 4th. And then finally, we have the Arceus Spellbook, which will steal 3 prayer points from you, but in return drain 5% of the NPC's magic level up to 20%. And boost your magic level by 50% of the drained. This will cap at 15% above your magic level. And the boost is not permanent and will be lost after a period of time. So overall, really bringing some different and unique variety into this magic weapon. But now for the ward, which is the new mage shield. And ultimately, they really haven't changed too much with the shield. Still requires 80 mage, 80 defense, and 80 prayer. It'll be dropped as a broken ward, and you'll have to equip it alongside an arcane sigil, requiring 90 prayer and 90 smithing, and 10,000 soul runes. If you do not have those stats, basically as an Iron Man, you can pay Abbott Langley 20 mil to create it for you. But now for our final couple rewards, we have the Lightbearer and the Fang, neither of which really seen too many changes, with the Lightbearer seeing basically no changes whatsoever. And this is nothing but a ring with no attack bonuses, but when equipped, your special attack energy will regenerate 100% faster. And then the Fang is a new 5-cycle weapon that packs a serious punch with stab. And this new weapon will be very effective against monsters with high defense, and that's because it packs a new effect where it basically cannot hit a 0. Rather than the traditional system where you attack something and it rolls a 0 to your max hit, it will instead roll a completely different formula. For example, if your max hit is 60, it would roll between a 9 and 51. You would lose 9 hit potentials on your max, but at the same time, you would always do damage. Therefore, in the long run, and especially monsters with high HP and high defense, you'll do more damage over time. But that's not all for this blog just yet. We still have something new, being the Stat Renewal Potion. Tombs of Amascut will introduce a new secondary component called Lily of the Sands, and when combined with a Dwarf Weed, this will create the new Stat Renewal Potion. You will need 71 Herblore to create it, and each one you will make will net you 150 XP. And the way this potion works is it'll essentially do the exact same stat renewal aspect of an overload without boosting you above your base level. If you would drink a brew while you're overloaded in a raid, it will gradually bring your stats back up to that boosted level. This potion will do the exact same thing, except it'll only bring you back up to your base. So for example, say you have 99 strength and you drank a bunch of brews and had your strength level all the way down to 1. This new potion would boost you back up to level 99 at the exact same rate as an overload. And very similar to an overload, the effects of this potion would last for 5 minutes per sip. And now finally, the last thing we're going to cover in this video is the new Pharaoh's Scepter teleport. They want to make a very easy and consistent way to make it back to the start of Raids 3. So after the completion of Beneath Cursed Sands, you'll be able to use your Pharaoh's Scepter on an obelisk outside of the raid entrance, granting you a new teleport on your Pharaoh's Scepter that basically teleports you very close to the entrance of raids. They've also stated if this does pass the poll, they'll tidy up the right-click menu so you can just have teleport and teleport to previous options on your Scepter. And they said, do note the Scepter would also be recolored and made untradeable after completing its attunement. But with that, that's everything for this new version 2 blog for the Raid 3 rewards. Let me know down in the comments below what your guys' thoughts are of the new changes. But with that, if you guys did enjoy the video, drop a like. It massively helps these out. And if you're around here often and you're not already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.